say it. Oh.
Yeah, it's difficult to say, when does a film start? I think there were different things that together. One was that I saw a picture of a very old chimpanzee sitting next to a swimming pool on a lounge chair. So I was wondering, it's a strange picture. How does a chimpanzee end up like that? So that was one of the beginnings. At the same time, I was, I think I was reading for my daughter, who was like 6, 7 years old, bedtime stories, and I was reading like a fable, like stories about animals, who are in the end, of course, always about humans. And so I was thinking about the idea of a fable, I guess. Then the thing is that with a fable, they are always, in the end, they are stories about morality. So I don't know, something like that all came together. Then I started researching about the ape and the chimpanzee, and I found out that he's supposedly the last cheetah of the Tarzan films. And I thought, and then I started researching, and they live in retirement homes, which is something, we do as humans. And then, and I thought, how would they look back upon their lives, and how can I make a story about that you have 3 old, in the end I ended up with 3 old apes in retirement homes, 2 chimpanzees and 1 bonobo. And they sort of remember life. Because they don't speak, it's all about images, yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, well, you don't really work with them because they are, you don't notice in the film, but in the end they are dangerous animals. So, it's something you forget also, during filming. But certainly in the beginning, people warn you that this is impossible to do. You cannot, but then, because during my research I also found different homes, but then these chimpanzees or big apes, they were always behind bars. And so and for my film, I needed without bars, because the whole thing was about being so close to them that I could somehow like turn the camera. That the idea is that you look through their eyes, or you're inside their mind, so to speak. So I had to find apes that I could be next, this kind of distance, yeah. Which is peculiar, yeah. Yeah, in the script I made, I thought that I would have 1 ape walking and then do chapters. So 1 would be let's say the storyteller. I also had a text in the beginning, which is based on a story of Kafka. Kafka wrote a short story about an ape who writes a letter to humanity, so to speak. Brief aan die Academie, it's called. And a short story about an ape. And I thought, and the text was amazing. It was about my apes, but 100 years ago. So, but then I thought it was too much. Give an ape a voice would be something entirely different. So then when I didn't do it, I thought, okay, then there is no reason to have 1 overall storyteller. So then it's better to have really separate, small portraits, and then 1 epilogue that is very important. And then, because the epilogue is somehow summing up the 3 stories in a way, I hope. You have to watch carefully, but that's the idea behind the structure.
Does it look the same? Oh, I see it. Oh, neat.